The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show. It's time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mian Mosen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, then you'll love Missing by Mian Mosen Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries with 2 strangers and 1 target where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available in paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mosen Zia has garnered great reviews and is even loved by Hollywood celebrities including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Order Missing by Mian Mosen Zia, now available at Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international war-winning author Mian Mosen Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mian Mosen Zia. Available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mian Mosen Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mian Mosen Zia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be here on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today, and support the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. Click donate. Also on Anchor FM/support. Also on PayPal. And don't forget to check out the cool merchandise on Amazon at amazon.com/the Mike Wagner Show. And for more books and cool treats like t-shirts, hoodies, also pot sockets, a lot more, go to amazon.com/Mian Mosen Zia and order today. We're here with a terrific lady who's literally from the other side of the pond. This is a very groundbreaking moment here on the Mike Wagner Show. And she was born in the USA and now currently in New Zealand. Of course, this is the first time that I talked to somebody out there, an amazing country. I think I'll head out there afterwards. So, and of course, this wonderful lady has a love for metaphysics, also math as well too, physics, and with a fantasy and enchantment with ancient twist. And of course, it kind of meets Lord of the Rings in a way. And she records at 432 hertz. So for all you people out there familiar with the Mike Wagner Show, Scott Howard has done some 432, and she is the second person in the Mike Wagner Show history to be recording in 432. So we look forward to get more people as well. And this is for healing purposes. It's not for show, by the way. And she also enjoys sacred geometry, medieval battles, and and lunar cycles and a lot more, and takes music to literally a whole new level. And we'll also be she'll be playing some of her music as well too, and talk about her latest album. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in somewhere in New Zealand. And it's very, very gorgeous out there. And of course, we're a day ahead or a day behind, however you want to call it, but well worth it. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the beautiful studios in New Zealand, Amy Tucker West, or best known as Parabola West, very multi-talented. Amy, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and thanks for joining us from the other side of the pond.
Well, thank you. What an introduction, Mike. Thank you so much. Good morning to you from New Zealand.
Yes, a good morning, good afternoon, good evening as well, too. Good morning from New Zealand if anybody's having some breakfast out there, or if you're having lunch, say, in Los Angeles, or if you're having dinner in Paris, or if you cannot get to sleep with you-know-what in Tokyo. Welcome to the Mike Wagner Show, everybody, from all sides of the world, a few in between. And let's talk about you as well, too, before we get carried away. You be playing a song called Worldofours in a few minutes. You'll be talking about Purity of Weakness. And you have an interesting history. You're born in USA. You've been in New Zealand for a while, and you'll have a love for math and physics, and also with a fantasy and enchantment meeting with an ancient twist. Of course, you record at 432 hertz as well instead of your standard 440 for a good purpose. And you're into sacred geometry, medieval battles, and lunar cycles and more. And before we get into all that, tell us how it first got started, Amy.
Shall I take some music away? Is it time to play a song?
Not yet. The spirits haven't done so as well. If I go like this, it means play. But right now, let's talk about how you got started.
All right. Okay, great. Well, I came from a very musical family, and music was just kind of part of what we did growing up. And so it was very natural to gravitate towards the piano. And then I started songwriting kind of earnestly as a teenager. And then I took a little bit of a break from music when I came to New Zealand. And it was about 10 years where I was trying to get a real job, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And then my heart just longed so much to get back into it that in about 2014, I launched my first EP as Parabola West. So that's kind of what I've been doing since then. Wow, that is amazing. And how'd you end up in New Zealand? Well, I actually came to New Zealand following my heart at the time, and so I was led here. And when that relationship didn't really work out, I'm so glad I stayed, because then I have met my husband here. So that is that's very amazing. And was it one moment that precisely influenced you into what you're doing today? Well, in terms of the actual, the music of it, I mean, it's hard to pinpoint one influence. There's just so many things that have come together in my life at the right time in order to kind of bring me here. But musically, it's been an interesting journey, and I've always loved the piano as a primary instrument, but I started learning some computer skills and learning how to do some production in the background. It really added this other element of there's so many things you can do with studio work. And so I started combining this kind of old school folk sound with this new age electronic sound. And I kind of fell in love with it. So that's where we've landed today. Oh my gosh, that's very amazing. Just an amazing background. And who are some of your favorite artists, singers, and musicians growing up? Well, I had a real affinity for Kate Bush. We listened to a lot of folk music in my house. So there was a lot of things like the Mamas and the Papas, and there's a lot of Neil Diamond, and my mom loved Barbra Streisand. But my first influences were probably from my older sister, and she introduced me to Tori Amos, and also this band called New Order, and that kind of at the same time in my life must have been the origin of where the piano-based music and the electronic sounds started merging. So that's probably where it came from.
Wow, that is something. We'll have you play one of your songs in just a minute as well. We'll talk about some of your music and also some of the love you had we had discussed as well too, like sacred geometry, medieval battle, and more. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs at below the competition rate. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level. Also, time to give a shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you love Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, and 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love be the first to go missing. It's available on paperback and ebook on Amazon. Missing by Mia Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today before it goes missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, the Mike Wagner Show can be heard on the MikeWagnerShow.com. You can check our Facebook page at facebook.com/the Mike Wagner Show. You can download and listen on Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also on Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, and Apple. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn. Heard worldwide on Geo 7, Radio Public, Himalaya, and more. Take the Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel and follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And don't forget to support the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, also on Anchor FM and PayPal. Also, for some cool gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/the Mike Wagner Show. And for more great gift ideas, including some great books, including Me and Mosensia, go to Amazon.com/Me and Mosensia and order today. We're here with Amy Tucker West, best known as Parabola West, here on the Mike Wagner Show, growing up in the U.S. and now living in New Zealand. And we talked about a little bit of her background as well, too, how she came to New Zealand. And not just music is her interest, she's also into a lot of things like sacred geometry, medieval battles, and lunar cycles and more. And first of all, tell us about those and how'd you get interested?
Well, that's a long story. There's a lot to that.
We've got time. Don't worry.
Well, the sacred geometry side of things, I started, sometimes you end up down little rabbit holes on YouTube or when you're learning about something, and then you end up just discovering all sorts of amazing coincidences. And so when I was looking into the healing frequencies, I started understanding a little bit more about some of those alternative healing and energy-based ideas, and that led me into learning a little bit more about sacred geometry. And being that I come from this background of I'm really fascinated with the combination of math and physics and how it's applied to the natural world, and sacred geometry just really sits well in that pocket for me.
Mm-hmm. How'd you first get interested in math and physics?
Well, I wasn't very good at it at school, is probably the first thing to say, and I certainly wouldn't consider myself to be in any way, an expert in either of those things. However, there was a pivotal moment where I remember being in physics class, and we were learning Bernoulli's principle, and it was about the movement of fluid and the vacuum effect, and I remember being so fascinated by the idea that I could apply this Bernoulli's principle to cool off my coffee if I blew over the top of it rather than blew into it.
Like this here?
Yeah. So if you blow over the top of it, it creates this vacuum, and it's actually the same thing that lifts an airplane off the ground, is the movement of the airflow over the wings. So it kind of sucks it into the air. And for some reason, that just fascinated me, and that was it. That was the moment.
Wow, that is something. And of course, you think about all these principles that seem intimidating. Blowing into a cup of coffee like this to cool off makes common sense. I think that really makes perfect sense. It's just like Archimedes' principle, which I can relate as well. Do you think that the whole principle is really intimidating? All it is just get in a tub and water rises up, and everything remains the same. And of course, I did a paper on the black holes a while back, although I wasn't a physics person itself. And they're like, you sure you want to do this? All I did is just listen to Rush, the Black Hole Cycling X1, did research, and they're like, dang, you did it without a background. It's like, end up with a B. I remember that. So, I mean, anything
That's
you take
amazing.
interest in is just amazing. So you don't have to learn in school.
No, I think sometimes I've learned most in my life, I think, outside of school. Because when you're drawn to an interest, like you were with the black holes, it's you can't help but be open to discovering more. And because it's not in that format of being tested on it, you're really just open to all the learning.
Mm-hmm. And of course, what are some of the things you've also you discovered that you did not expect? And of course, you had like medieval battles, lunar cycles, and I guess there's just a lot to list. King Scroll. I guess you can just pick one or two of them. So
Yeah. Well, the medieval. I really have an affinity for the medieval aesthetic, and when there was an opportunity that came up locally where there was this kind of club they were starting, and they were doing medieval battle reenactments, but they were actually using real armor and getting dressed up in it. So I thought I would just go along and check it out, and I loved it. And then I started training with them and learning how to use a sword and learning how to use a shield and an axe, and there's something about, I don't know if you've ever done a medieval reenactment or anything like that, but there's something about just getting all dressed up in armor and then just smashing people as hard as you can. It's very therapeutic. It's a wonderful way to release energy.
You can talk to my boys about that. I mean, I'm content with just getting on a joust and taking one of those foam balls and hopefully hit somebody and I don't fall off. I mean, that's my exposure to it. But then also too, we talk about the medieval. Have you seen any medieval movies, similar to it, or if you have, which ones?
Well, I think my favorite movies that are set in the medieval era tend to be more those fantasy films. So, and with a bit of a vague time stamp, but yeah, I just think about, there's so many. I'd be hard pressed to come up with one. But my favorite movie of all time is The Princess Bride.
Oh yes, that's my wife's favorite and everybody's favorite. I mean, I think I must have seen I think I saw it once, well before my day, and in meeting her, I think I ended up I think I went up like maybe 3, 4, 5 times. I've lost track after a while.
Yeah.
So.
You can watch it over and over again. It's one of those films. It's just, it never gets old.
Who's your favorite character in the movie?
Gosh, you got to understand, Mike, I love this movie so much that I've really thought a lot about this. I love them all. I mean, it's really, really difficult to say. I mean, Inigo Montoya's heart is just so pure, and he's just trying so hard to avenge his father, and maybe him.
My name is Montoya, and you're going to die.
Yeah. You killed my father.
You'll kill my father. I liked Andre the Giant goes, oh, so what do we do now? Just try and throw out rocks and everything else. And they say Andre the Giant, it was just a really gentle character in real life. It's like, I was impressed with him. Oh, yeah. So what do we do now?
He, whenever I've watched a few interviews with some of the actors of that film, and they always say what a lovely, gentle person he was to work with.
Mm-hmm. And it's just fascinating too. It also ties into your music, and also let's talk about how'd you come up with the name, Parabola West as well too. Maybe how you picked the name and the meaning behind it.
Well, I picked the name because at that time I was researching how to build a parabolic solar heater. We're going probably back to me living off grid and being interested in math and physics, and so I was trying to build this parabolic solar heater in order to see what that was like. And I started learning all about the parabolic curve and the way that it takes light from any direction and focuses it onto a fixed point. And if you've ever taken a magnifying glass and sort of set something on fire with it, it's the parabolic curve that creates that intense focus. Wow. And it occurred to me that when I write music, I take all of my emotions and I focus them into music. And when I'm doing that, I become like the parabola.
Mm-hmm. And you also do it in 432 as well, too. And maybe tell us a bit about it as well, too.
Well, I started out doing music in the standard tuning of 440. And at a certain point, I started to research healing frequencies, as I mentioned earlier. And I was interested to understand that I could just detune my keyboard a little bit and nobody would really notice it, but I would experiment to see whether or not the feeling was a little bit different or warmer. And I started getting this feedback about people saying that my music was giving them feelings of relaxation and peace. And so I thought, I think there's something to this. And I decided then that I would carry on recording all of my new music that way. So my first EP is in 440, and all the music that I've recorded since halfway through Purity of Weakness is in 432.
Now, if you were to change things, would you redo your first album in 432 or just keep it the way it is?
I think that at that particular time, I'd keep it the way it is. I think that tells a story of a journey in my life, and then, being able to pinpoint where things evolved into a different way of thinking is pretty interesting. So I like it.
It does sound interesting, and we'll talk about your album, Purity of Weakness, and we'll also feature Worldofours, which you'll be playing. If you have a different tune, that's fine. New Moon, Calling Your Name, Fire, Disappear, Do You Want to Know, and some others. Maybe tell us a little bit more about the album as well, and some of the songs.
Well, Purity of Weakness I released back in 2017, and actually right now I'm working on my new debut kind of full-length album. And so that will be coming out in August. And so the song World of Ours will be on that one. And I'm going to play also a song New Moon, which will be on the new one. And I released New Moon in April of last year as a single. And I think if I have time, I'm not sure how many songs I'll be able to play, but I thought I might do one song from Purity of Weakness called Rabbit Hole. Okay, that sounds great. So go ahead. So you can go ahead and play one song after we take a break, and then before we wrap up, you can play another one. And before we let you play, let's remind everybody, listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor, The Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Moshenzia of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with Parabola West and her latest Purity Weakness and more of her songs after this time out.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention The Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real-life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mia Moshenzia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzia.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on over 30 podcast platforms, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple, and more. Coming soon to Podbean, Buzzsprout, Pandora, and TuneIn, where The Mike Wagner Show interviews great guests, cool conversation, lots of laughs, coffee, and more. Take The Mike Wagner Show with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel, and follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today.
Hey, this is Ray Powers. And if there's one thing you can count on in these unpredictable times, it's that you're in good hands getting some great radio, courtesy of The Mike Wagner Show.
We're back with Parabola West here on the Mike Wagner Show, based out of New Zealand, and she's going to go ahead and play a song off of one of her works. So once again, tell us what you're going to play, and go right ahead.
Thanks. I'm going to play a song called New Moon, which I released back in April, and this song will be on my upcoming album, which should be out in August.
And what's the name of the album again?
Oh, I haven't actually named the album yet.
Oh, okay. All right, so we'll keep it as a secret.
The new one is still unnamed.
Okay, that sounds good. Here we go. Parabola West with New Moon from the unnamed release on the Mike Wagner Show.
Save your troubles for the new moon. Circle round, it will be back soon. And all the games you play will see the light of day. Save your troubles for the new moon. Draw the spiders to the altar and drown them all in holy water. When all the words we say will have a price to pay, who will be the one to falter? Crawling down upon the old ways, circle round just like the old days. Rising from the earth, rising to rebirth in the shadow of the new moon. Calling down upon the old ways, circle round just like the old days. Rising from the earth, rising to rebirth in the shadow of the new moon. Save your troubles for the new moon. Circle around, it will be back soon. And all the games we play will see the light of day. Save your troubles for the new moon.
Wow. Amazing. Oh, I feel relaxed already. New Moon from the unnamed release by Parabola West here on the Mike Wagner Show. And tell us more about New Moon and what inspired you to write it.
Well, I do love the lunar cycles, and the new moon is a time in the lunar cycle where it's like a reset. And so while some people might make New Year's resolutions, the moon cycle kind of gives you an opportunity to make a resolution or kind of reset every month. And so it's a great time to set intentions and to think about goals or things you want to achieve. And then, yeah, the month carries on, and it kind of, the height of it is the full moon, which we actually just recently had. And then the cycle begins again.
Mm-hmm. I do have a question, though, when it comes to moons and everything. They say people go crazy when it comes to full moon. And why is that? I'm just curious.
Well, I was just chatting with my husband about that the other night, actually. I think that the energy of the full moon is intense, and it, you know, the way the moon behaves, or the way that we react to the moon, and the way that the ocean and the tides react to the moon, and even people who are really into planting, they know how plants react to the energy of the moon. And we're all just impacted by it. It's an intense time. It's when the energy is at its most full, and it's probably like turning up the volume on whatever's going on in your life. So if something's really crazy, it's going to be really crazy.
That is interesting. I've had people ask me about the full moon, so I have to relay that. I mean, it's just so amazing, I gotta say. And where can we find all your music at, including your new releases and soon-to-be new releases?
Well, thank you for asking. The most centralized place to go would be to my website, which is www.parabolawest.com. But my music is available on all of the main platforms. I can be found on Amazon and on Spotify and iTunes and YouTube and pretty much all of the main players.
That is fascinating. Once again, we're with Parabola West here on the Mike Wagner Show, based out of New Zealand. We'd love to have you back. I mean, you've just been amazing. And before we have you play one more song before we go, we'd love to have you back. And what can we expect from you in 2021 and beyond?
Well, I'm really excited, actually. This is going to be a big year for me. I'm in the process of recording my full-length album, and I'm so excited about that. And I did that with the help of a couple of crowdfunding campaigns. And so
Nice.
It's just a real journey of being able to release new music. And I don't know, the uncertainty about live performance in the world, it means that I'll probably be doing some more internet shows, which I love doing. And yeah, those are kind of the big plans. I'm so excited about this album.
And you do an amazing job as well, too. Looking forward to having you back on. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, the biggest influence in my career? Oh, actually, I would probably say just being in love is the biggest influence on my career. So probably my husband.
I think that was too easy. That's a good thing, though. But what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Ooh, on what topic? Any topic?
It can be anything, yes.
Be kind to yourself and to others. Be kind.
And that's very important as well, too. Once again, Amy Tucker West, best known as Parabola West here on the Mike Wagner Show, based out of New Zealand. Amy, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely terrific. Looking forward to having you again soon. Learned a lot from you. Do us a favor, keep us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And before we go here, would you like to play one more for us?
I would love to. It'd be my pleasure. I'm going to play a song that is not recorded yet. In fact, I'm in the studio next week recording this one, so this is going to be kind of a bit of a debut, so it's a bit exclusive. The song is called The Best Thing, and it will also be on my upcoming album, along with World of Ours.
I haven't surfaced for a long time. Been underwater, out of reach. I saw the sands of time before me, but I could not walk that beach. I always thought I was the current, but now I know I am awake. In this vigil I've created has drifted from its fate. I want to be the best thing that has happened to you. Is there more time to make it true? I always drift without an anchor, and now I've traveled out to sea. In my heart I am uncertain if you will come for me. I want to be the best thing that has happened to you. Is there more time to make it true? Is there more time to make it true?
That is amazing. The best thing, Parabola West on the Mike Wagner Show. Very beautiful. Thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Keep us up to date. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects. What's your website? How do people contact you? Where can people purchase or listen to your music?
Well, thank you so much for the opportunity and chatting with me today, Mike. The best place to go is to my website, which is www.parabolawest.com. And that's where you can find links to all of my music. You can find me on all the platforms, really. And I am working on my full-length debut album right now in studio. And you can also buy copies of my EP, Purity of Weakness, in my shop, which is linked to my website.
We're certainly looking forward to it. Once again, we're the Parabola West on the Mike Wagner Show. A very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely great. Learned a lot from you. Inspirational. Looking forward to having you again soon. Do us a favor. Keeps us up to date. Love you back on in 2021 and beyond. And don't forget to keep in touch. And if you ever go into rabbit holes, come out of it and tell us next time. We'd love to hear more.
I would love to. Thank you so much for having me.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing, available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Sonic Web Studios specializes in custom web design, app development, social networking, search engine optimization, domain registration, email marketing, online stores, and more. Since our birth, we have been designing and developing immaculate websites and providing web solutions which are a cut above the rest. As a leading web designing enterprise, we have a team of extremely talented web designers who are well-focused and have the experience of working on multiple web developing platforms such as PHP, Magento, custom WordPress, and more. Sonic Web Studios has been helping businesses of all kinds, whether big, small, established, or startup, impress their audiences with exemplary web solutions. We don't just create beautiful and functional websites. We give you a complete online solution with the main goal of enhancing your yearly revenues. We aim to give your business the online exposure and brand acknowledgement that will help you in achieving increased conversions leading to profitable sales. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Thanks for listening to the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartradio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.